To start, we're going to set up our basic layout of the piece. From there, we're going to determine how long we need the lengths to be and cut them to the desired length. Before moving on to the next step, we're going to check their fit. After knowing we have a proper fit, we're now going to start our layout for our screw holes. This is very important because it's going to give the piece a nice look. I'm using a combination square to transfer all my layout holes on all the edges of the piece. I found that this is the best way to get a consistent screw hole layout. With the screw layout complete, the next step is to countersink the holes. With the sides cut to the correct length, we're now going to focus on cutting our center section, which consists of two 2x6s side by side. With all pieces cut to length, we're now going to do a final dry fitting just to make sure everything's right before we start cutting holes. With everything fitting correctly, we're now going to cut the holes. As you can see, I have a pretty nice layout here. The plan's to determine our center line, as you can see here, and use the given template that I created to transfer all the holes over. The template's very useful because all holes are the same size. All I have to do is simply adjust the spacing. As you can see, we're now going to be doing the spacing for the center pieces. All I have to do is just make the holes to the right and left of the main one, spaced out evenly, and we're good to go. Now is the fun part, getting to cut the holes. At first I tried using a bandsaw, but it didn't work too well because the throat wasn't deep enough. I found that using a jigsaw was a lot more practical for this step. These are the final products after everything was cut out. With all the pieces cut, we now can move to final assembly. We're going to start by laying out the sides, as well as the ends. When attaching everything, we're going to make sure we attach the ends first, and check the piece for squareness, before we move on to the center portion. Before attaching the center portion to the side boards, it's important to screw them together so they don't pull apart over time. Before attaching the center portion, I wanted to make sure I flip the piece over and install the backing. This will give it some strength and also ensure it stays square before I put the center piece in. To attach the centerpiece, I'm just going to use 6 4-inch screws on each side. One important part to add to this piece are these side slats. These are important because you have to remember, this is going to be in someone's yard and the kids will be playing in the mud. For that reason, you don't want anyone to fall. You want a nice stable surface. When I designed this piece, I specifically made it so it's 42 inches wide. This gives you an extra 6 inches of plywood backing to attach the slats with. To do this, I ripped them into 2 3-inch sections. In terms of assembly, I used my T-square to make sure everything was nice and square, and some 3/4 of an inch screws. Here the project is all complete. I left it like this and transported it to its final location. This way, I found it a lot easier because you can move everything in one piece. With the project complete, here it is being used for its first time. Nothing makes you feel better than seeing your hard work being put to use in a positive way. Well, that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, feel free to take a look at my channel. I got a lot of other videos like this one that I'm sure you'll enjoy. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a great day, guys.